back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be doing an oil change for a GLS450. A little different from the ML that we did the oil change on a little bit ago, but let's get to it. It's going to be cool. This actually has a plastic oil pan. We got to take off this plastic cover, get an 8mm bit, and there's 8 screws under there we need to take out. Just to show you the screws, there's 2 there, there's 1 there, and on the other side, there's 1 there on the other side. 1 in the middle, and then at the very end in the rear. So 8 altogether. After you take the cover off, you're gonna see this little honeycomb plastic piece. This is the oil pan, and this is the bolt here. So you're gonna just take a flathead screwdriver and loosen that up. Let's get an oil pan there ready for the flow, and we'll just loosen it up a little bit, and then we can unscrew that with our hands and drain the rest of the oil out. Let's go. Okay, so we're looking up at the oil pan. We're going to take a flathead screwdriver and we're going to turn it counterclockwise. And it's going to come straight down, guys, okay? So it's going to come straight down, so get your pan underneath it and turn counterclockwise. Where is this leaking? Okay. Now I'm going to unscrew it with my hand. There it is. I warmed up the car a little bit beforehand, so the oil's a little warm. Don't get it scorching hot, but you want it just warm enough to leak out of there. The dealership recommends that we replace this. Take a look at it. If it's in good condition, which this is, then you do not. What you do want to replace is this O-ring. This is in pretty good condition too. If you do reuse it, then you run the risk of it actually leaking at some point. This looks great right now. But I most likely will reuse this or replace it, depending on the mood I'm in about 5 minutes. So while that's draining, we'll move to the top and we'll take off this intake here. We don't really need to take this piece off because everything we need is right here on this cap, and we have to change the oil filter, which is underneath here. So let's just take this intake off, and that's about it. Actually, we don't have to take it off, we'll just flip it up. There are these little bolts here, and you're gonna use a flathead screwdriver or some sort of chisel, and you can just get underneath that and wedge them out like that. Same here, easy peasy. And then you can just hand pull them out of there. There you go. And this one too, after you just pop them up with a screwdriver, we'll keep them right here so we don't lose them. So now you can take this piece off too. Join them, take this piece off too. You can wedge this with your fingernails. If you don't have any fingernails, which I don't, just use a flathead again. It's easier if you're not on the phone in your hand. That was easy. And then just pull that up, pry that up if you can. That's what that looks like. Just keep everything here. Now this will just move up. You can just pull that straight up like that, and now you've got easy access to the filter here and the filter cover, and we're gonna just unscrew that and take out the filter. So to take out this cover, you're gonna need a socket size 27, and we're gonna twist it. We'll use that right here. Good to go. Sometimes you'll be able to take it off just with your hands, but you might have to break it or even work it with a ratchet. Now I can just untighten it with my hand. There it is. It's ready to take off. By the way, I don't suggest sealing the bottom up until you take the filter out, because as soon as I take the filter out, you release a vacuum and more oil is pouring out now. So remember that. Just leave it draining until you get the oil filter out, and then it'll continue to drain. As you can see, here's the old one, here's the new one. Same thing. You can pick this thing up for like 10-20 bucks on Amazon. I like to get OEM parts, make sure it's exactly what Mercedes recommends and Mercedes uses. In this case, it's Mercedes-Benz genuine parts. When you pull this out, you'll hear a click. It'll click out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take a shop towel and wipe the inside of this thing, wipe it down really well. I'm gonna replace this O-ring. That's the O-ring right there. We're gonna replace with the new one. So you can use a tool like that to remove this O-ring. Just be careful you don't scratch or damage the plastic when you're removing it. So you just hook it and then bring it over, and then you're gonna lube up. You'll lube up the new O-ring with a little fresh oil before you apply it back onto this cover. I dipped my finger in fresh oil and I lubed up the O-ring here and I applied the new one back on here. So in order to put it back, you're gonna take this little nipple here, this green nipple, and we're gonna put it into the hole that you'll see in there. So we're gonna go ahead and line it up. And it's gonna slide in there and you'll feel it pop in there. So just the green nipple just popped in there, and then we're gonna put the cover on here, and we're gonna hand tighten it up. And you can just basically hand tighten this. You can try to give it a torque, but there's really not much give after the hand. It just actually comes to a complete stop. I think you're solid. Now you can put this back on. Put these nuts in there. So we're gonna dump about 8.5 quarts in here, maybe 8 to 8.5 quarts, and then we'll go check. There's no dipstick anymore. I'll show you where to check inside on the dash. And so once we get done dumping about 8 in there, we'll go check it out. We let that drip for a while until it just completely stopped dripping. So we are completely fresh. And then we wiped it down. We wiped down the oil pan. And once we're good to go, we use a funnel. We're using 0W40. I'll show you. We're using 0W40 European Mobil 1. This car should hold about 9 quarts altogether. See, it's not black at all, right? It's like translucent brown. My son was asking, what does oil look like? What does new oil look like? Because he saw the old oil and it was. So before I put the cap back on, I'm just gonna wipe all debris away from that. If you want any debris getting in the oil, that's it. And then I'll wipe any debris over there with a clean shop towel. And we'll put the cap back on. So intake's back on, cap's back on. The plug, the drain plug is back in. And we're just gonna put the plastic cover in, and then I'll show you how to check the levels and reset the service. So I've taken the car off the ramp, and you're gonna go to the home key, press the home key here on the steering wheel, and that's gonna bring up Trip or Assistant or wherever you are. You're gonna use this scroll here to scroll all the way over to Service, and you're gonna press down on the button here. Go into Service, and you'll scroll using this key again. You'll scroll down to Engine Oil Level. You're gonna press that button again, and then it's gonna bring up the engine oil level. I'm okay, but I'm on the bottom of the minimal. So I'm gonna add another half quart, and it should bring it up to midway up there. So I'm just gonna pop it back open. Okay, so we're gonna do the service reset on this 2021 GLS450. So we're gonna hit the ignition button one time. So after you hit the ignition button, it'll be in trip mode. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna hold down these two buttons for about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. After that, you're gonna go ahead and hit the back key. And then you're gonna scroll over to the left, and you'll see an extra option is up there called Workshop. You're gonna go ahead and click this and press this button. It's gonna bring you to this menu. You're gonna scroll down to Assist Plus, and you're gonna press this button again. Then from there, you're gonna switch on the ignition like that, and you can clear any messages. And then you're gonna go down to Full Service and press that button. You're gonna select Confirm Service, and it's gonna ask you which oil grade. We use Mobil 1 fully synthetic 0W40 European style, and that would be the oil grade 229.51. So we're gonna select that one. And yes, it was carried out. And I am gonna confirm because it can't be undone. All right, full service carried out.